So I'm storing up gold today.
You're storing health in your gold.
Yes.
Your metal mines.
Yes. So let's just pretend that me not being able to breathe through my orifices is just like me storing health. I wanted to just say, like anytime that Wayne says he's storing health, just picture, this is what you should imagine is just my voice talking.
I mean, if you're having trouble getting into the character for Wayne, you're not wearing the right hat.
I am not.
You're
like
not wearing
Wayne.
the right hat.
I am not like Wayne at all.
You're not wearing the right hat.
Anyway.
You're not wearing the right hat.
Yes, that's correct. I'm not wearing any hats.
Hello and welcome to Cosmere Casual, your casual reader's guide for the Cosmere Curious. I'm your co-host, the Tapping Gold, Nick Gorman.
Oh, tapping gold. Okay.
Tapping is when you're drawing upon your reserves.
For some reason, I was thinking like tap dancing.
I mean, I could just like start tapping the microphone, but I wouldn't want to punish our listeners like that.
I can't. Tap shoes made of gold would not last.
Absolutely not. They're way too soft. That's way too soft. Also probably heavy. What's your name?
AJ.
Okay.
AJ Gorman.
Yeah, and you're filling your gold mines.
I'm filling my gold mines. Yes. And that's why the thoughts are so slow.
That's got to be it. Although I do want to say mental acuity is a different ferrochemical property. You can tell.
Yeah, I ain't got that metal.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I ain't got nothing stored.
I want to say it was zinc, but I don't remember.
There's too many to keep track of.
16, but like times 3. Because there's... Anyway.
Right. Which is why I'm upset about this all the time. Which is why we need a podcast for me to just vent my frustration.
And that's not even including the adium and its
good Lord.
alloys. Anyway, this is our pre-read episode for Shadows of Self.
Yeah, so...
Mistborn Era 2, Book 2.
First off, warnings.
Wax and Wayne, Book 2.
Yeah. Warnings first. There is a lot...
Of the spoiler or the content?
No, the content.
Okay.
So this book does deal with suicide. So if that is a trigger for you, just be aware with it and make good choices.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, I feel like a lot of the Cosmere, it comes up, Figure Stormlight Archive, like that's a pretty big, it's almost like a recurring theme there, right?
Suicide?
Yeah. And severe depression.
The
temptation.
More so the depression, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. It's a little different.
It is.
Yeah, the view of suicide is a little bit different. This one is a bit darker.
Yeah, darker. Yeah, wow. Darker still. Darker than black. Yeah, and I guess spoiler warnings. We're going to talk, spoilers for, obviously, Alloy of Law, which was the first book in Era 2. But it should be spoiler-free otherwise.
I have more frustrations to vent.
Okay.
Mistborn titles are stupid, and I can never remember them.
I
so
mean,
thank you for mentioning the book one title, because I
feel like
never sticks in my brain. And I can only tell you the book 2 title because I actually wrote it as the title of my document. So that's the only reason.
I kind of like Alloy of Law because, like, if you're familiar with the Mistborn, like, it's like, oh, okay, great. The alloy, I don't know. And it's reemphasizing that Wax is a lawman, and also, but like, it's an, I want to say amalgamation of multiple things, but it's not. Alloys and amalgamations are literally two different things. So
I thought about studying like material science. Didn't.
Oh.
So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, so I personally, I like to say that my bachelor's degree is in mechanical engineering, but technically it's mechanical engineering and material science, but really it's metallurgy. I have some opinions.
People mean so many different things when they say metallurgy.
Huh.
I would say that I was at points in my life. I would say that I was a metalsmith because I would actually make things out of metal.
Right, but metalsmithing is different from because I don't know. I studied a lot about like grain structures and Anyway, we are way off track.
Do you think Brandon goes into this much research?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you think he calls someone up and says, tutor me in this?
Absolutely, yes.
Does he do it all himself?
We know for things like, disability representation and things like that, we know that he hires consultants. I don't
Okay,
see why
well,
he
he
would.
has not. He did not hire a consultant to talk about light.
Well, okay.
See previous episodes on
Yeah.
Stormlight.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's also all right, fair enough. I was about to say it's like there are probably not as many people getting worked up, but I'm like, no, you're getting worked up. And you've got a podcast about it. It's like, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, light is something everybody experiences. Maybe not. Well, even blind people experience light in some way because of circadian rhythm. But like,
Yeah.
light is a pretty important thing that you shouldn't mess up so badly.
Shadows of Self, huh?
Yeah. All right.
It-
Let me tell
yeah.
you. Let me do a little bit of review about the whole
Take it away.
Mistborn arc. So we have Era 1, which was kind of a foundation myth kind of thing. So Era 2, the Wax and Wayne books, were never really supposed to be a thing in the original plan. Brandon always had it in his head that there would be 3 eras, but the second era was supposed to take place later, more in modern day rather than in, what are we calling this era? Like cowboyish steampunk rather than a steampunk era. But he started writing a thing, and then it turned into. Then after the first book, he's like, "Well, no, I'm just going to expand this and make this like a big thing." So book 1 was not really planned out as an overall 3-book arc. So then, when he did plan it out, there ended up being 4 books to complete the full arc. But books 2 through 4 are very much intentionally planned out, and I think you can see that as you read through the books.
I mean, yeah, and I saw that, but at the same time, it's not like there's no foreshadowing in the first in Alloy of Law either.
That's
so I'm
true.
like, how did he go into this with no plan for the future books and still foreshadow events?
Because that's what the man does.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You're right. No, there's a lot of callbacks in Shadows of Self to to Wax and Wayne book 1.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit easier to look back rather than plan forward. So in book 1, Alloys of Law, we get to meet Wax and Wayne, realize that they're very odd but effective partnership. They get kind of caught up in. Now you want to say? Go ahead.
No, I was about to say is Wax is a gentleman vigilante. Vigilante? Yeah. He's basically like steampunk Batman.
He is a self-appointed law man person.
Yeah, and he's, he in the first book,
Bounty hunter.
yeah, and the first book deals with him experiencing the death of his wife and partner in crime fighting, Leslie, and then moving into the city where it's ostensibly more civilized, and he gets wrapped up in a train heist, kidnapping conspiracy.
He has to take responsibility for his family's house, and
Because, of course, it's a Brando Sando book. We're dealing with nobility as well as non-nobility.
yes, and this nobility and his house is not just his household; it's a bunch of families and other things under his care. You know, a house is more of a political
About 1/8
term. Yeah.
about 1/8 of the population of the city.
So he needed wealth, so he decided he needed to marry in. He needed to marry into wealth. So his proposed fiance was taken kidnapped, and so he had to go find her.
And, and there was fighting and stuff. I think
And we also got to meet his
sidekick.
His
Or no.
we also got to meet Marasi, who is the illegitimate sibling to
future half sister-in-law who had a huge crush on Wax. In the first book, it was definitely a crush.
Yeah.
But, it's like hero worshipping, right? Because Wax is literally a hero. There are myths and legends about him that get published in the newspaper, the tabloids.
And she, of course, is a not Mistborn, because no one's a Mistborn.
Yes, she's a misting.
She's a misting. Yes.
Her medal is Bendaloy, which I didn't realize was a real medal. It is, and
yeah, we are all so fucked for actual real life understandings of things.
I'm just like, anyway, yeah. Yeah, so she can burn Bendaloy, which slows down time for her, which is sort of the opposite of Wayne's allomantic power, which is to create a speed bubble.
Yeah, so it speeds up time. So
so she experiences time more slowly than people around her, whereas Wayne, creates a speed bubble, which, puts him in a slow time area, right? It's explained in the books better than I can do here.
That's pretty much everything we need to know from book 1, right?
Nope. Wayne and Wax are also fairings. They have one ferrochemical power. So Wax can...
Which they call them twin-born because they have one metal ability and one
allomantic and one ferrochemical.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Wax is a coin shot, a steel pusher, and I don't remember what the term is for his ferrochemical ability, but he can use iron to change his own weight, right? So he can be extra massive or light as a feather, which when you're flying around the city is very handy. Whereas Wayne, I forget what the name for both of his abilities is, but he can create speed bubbles to move super fast, and he can, store health within his gold mines to heal, just like AJ is doing now. Mm-hmm. So that way she can draw upon her healing powers later. And Marassi is a misting, not a Farouk so she only has the opposite of Wayne's speed bubble power. Yeah, a slow bubble power, basically.
Yeah. And if you're wondering, well, what do you like the difference between Mistborn and misting and whatnot? Brandon has explained somewhere that I've read about, like, you're either going to get all of the powers or you're going to just get one. There's no other option in between for whatever reason.
Yeah. And so we talked about Wax's background as a gentleman vigilante and then just a vigilante noble in the city. Marassi in the first book was studying to be a solicitor or lawyer. And then by the end of the book, she becomes a member of the police instead of going into law.
I don't think we find that out at the beginning of this book, but okay.
I mean, okay, but it's presented in the opening, right? Right. I want to say that she had that realization that that's what she wanted at the end of the first book, though, because she was so inspired working with Wax
that she could actually see,
effective
change immediately every day.
Yeah, and she was the one who saved the day at the end, right? When fighting and killing Miles 100 lives. So I think other key characters are Wax's uncle, Uncle Ladrian, Edwern, also called Mr. Suit. He's a villain. Not much is known about him. He faked his death and left Wax in charge of the estate, their family, the stuff. But he's high up in some mysterious, vague yet menacing agency, right?
Yes.
Secret society. And I don't think we know anything about them other than that they are interested in people with powers in the metallic arts. And they were willing to kidnap them in the first book.
Yes. Bringing it back a little bit, I do want to point out some things that are going on with the map of Shadows of Self. The maps are interesting and beautiful, so if you do take the time to look at them, there are lots of railways throughout the basin where a majority of the people live, but there are lots of settlements outside of the basin.
The roughs.
Yes. On the map are some handwritten notes from a character called Naz. He is not of the planet.
Yeah, he's more like a Cosmere background character.
But his notes are pointing out how the canton of cartography, the government, doesn't care about the accuracy outside of Elendel. Elendel is in the center of the basin, so it seems like he's saying, even outside of Elendel, within the basin, there's not a whole lot of... The government doesn't really care. I think that is a subtle but important detail to kind of have in your mind while reading this.
Do you think that might be a theme that's explored in this? Huh.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't clue to that because I first read this book in the Kindle version where it's too tiny to read.
Yeah, the Kindle version sucks for trying to see this stuff.
Yeah, so okay, yeah. Huh. And now I have it on paperback, but I kind of glaze over the map. So good for you pointing that out, dear.
Yes, well, that's only because we're doing the podcast. So
fair.
Just real quick, because it's easy to forget, but Khandra are also called faceless immortals. They do play a large role in this book, so you do want to remember that.
And they're functionally immortal,
but can be killed.
Yeah, if you dissolve them in a vat of acid or something. But they, as explored a lot in Era 1, they are shapeshifters that take the bones of dead people and recreate them perfectly. They are
It doesn't have to be the bones of dead people.
They also, yes, there's also true bodies that are, like made of crystal or whatever, where they make themselves in their own image. And they are hemalurgic constructs, which, you don't hear that term much in Era 2, but they're powered by hemalurgy. So there's spikes of dead people that power them.
There are 3 metallic arts that are featured in
The Mistborn
series. So we have talked about 2 of them. We talked about Furukami, which is kind of storing and taking and tapping energy that are stored in metals. We have talked about allomancy, which is kind of ingesting metal to burn it to get access to powers or energy, whatever. This third one is hemalurgy, which is you're kind of stealing someone else's innate power for yourself. So hemalurgy is not something that is kind of genetically... It's not genetics based at all. Anybody could practice hemalurgy because it's a very mechanical. It's a mechanical process.
It's very democratic. Anybody could do it. You just have to kill someone every time.
Yeah, so in order to use hemalurgy, you kind of have to stab a piece of metal through a person, rip something from their spirit web.
You have to rip a part of their soul off.
Yes.
So they not only die, but their soul is gone.
Yes. The type of metal matters. The specific location in which you stab someone matters. Ideally, you want to stab a person that you want to give the power directly into yourself so that there is little lost, or to coat the spike in blood. If you're not going to... Because you also have to... Once the spike is primed with the power that you want, you also have to stab yourself with it.
Yeah. Now, on the topic of hemalurgic spikes, in Mistborn Era 1, there is an earring that our protagonist Vin wears, and it is something that comes up as a theme in Era 2, where Wax puts in an earring to talk to Harmony, the god. And that's another feature of hemalurgy, is that if you have a hemalurgic spike, then you can commune directly with God.
Which seems a little hand-wavy to me, but...
It is.
So yeah, the Khandra, those immortals that we were talking about, the only reason that they are kind of sentient is because they have 2 hemalurgic spikes. But the original Khandra were people.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So, set up for the book? More setting?
Nope.
How much time has it been since the first book? It's been a year, basically, right? Something around that. It's been some time, but not a whole lot.
Right. The thing that I was struggling with this book is the entire book takes place over a very short amount of time.
Yes. It's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
So the setting, there's economic hardship. There's a lot going on socioeconomically. They're in the middle of the equivalent of the Industrial Revolution, so there's a lot of job turnover, for lack of a better word. There's a lot of unrest about it. There's a lot of social change. There's sort of a confluence of things going on around that gets explored in the book. Sort of the initiating event. I don't know. Can I just do spoilers for the prologue?
Sure.
Spoilers for the actually, this is chapter 1. The prologue is a flashback. Spoilers for chapter 1. If you don't want to hear it, skip ahead 2 minutes. Anyway, the initiating event that sets that sets everything in motion is in chapter 1. The governor's brother hosts a party of all of these
corrupt people.
Drug, heads of gangs, organized crime, smugglers, as well as nobility, but people who would want to buy his vote in the Senate. And something happens, and everybody at the party dies. And so the thing that sort of sets everything off is trying to figure out what happened there.
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty fast paced. Not my favorite Mistborn, but
I was about to say
at least I could follow this plot.
Yeah,
and everything that's going on. The next couple books, I struggle a bit.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing that's sort of going on at the beginning is that Wax is desperately trying to hunt down his uncle and bring him to justice, but he's running out of leads. Yeah, so he's trying to hunt down his uncle and his villainous uncle and his poor damsel in distress sister, who may or may not be dead.
Right. As you read it, I would pay attention to a character called Sophie. She's an inventor's daughter.
Okay.
She doesn't have a whole lot of screen time, but if you're the kind of interesting person that will only read a book once, I would say pay attention to Sophie.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
enjoy reading.
Do we want to have our blanket reminder? Pay attention to the broadsheets.
Yeah, this book is interesting because it takes place over such a short amount of time that you're really just analyzing one broadsheet. In the previous book, we kind of got to see a progression of broadsheets, which was a lot more interesting. This book, you're just looking at different sections of one broadsheet, so there's not as much kind of progression in the stories. The broadsheets weren't as interesting to me this time around.
So we're going to end on a cliffhanger with Allomancer Jack and his adventures?
Of course, you knew that. Every story with Allomancer Jack is going to end like that way.
The totally not exaggerated adventures of Allomancer Jack in the pulp.
We do get to find out that Allomancer Jack does not think highly of
the ruffian, the scallywag, Dawnshot, Waxilium Ladrian.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's our episode. Thanks audience for listening, and thanks Jeff for podcasting with me.
Thanks for podcasting with me.
We've been Cosmere Casual. Our email address is cosmerecasual@gmail.com. Our social media handle is Cosmere Casual. Our intro and outro music is licensed through Tribe of Noise. The artist is Ketsa, and the song is Odyssey.
And until next time, keep your wits about you.